Hey do-it-yourselfers, Bob here. Doing a little something different today. We are going to test drive some Ineos Grenadiers on a motocross track in the winter. Oh yeah. Let's have a look at these bad boys. Okay. Oh, me like the love and all the things. All the buttons. This is very nice. Oops. And this is the quartermaster, so you got the truck bed there. I assume that's a 5-foot. This is a really nice one too. $20.25. Very nice. It's like a 110 and a Galunda wagon had a baby. Let's have a look inside this one. Okay, it's a Parkas. Oh, it's got the cool windows as well. Very nice. And I know that in some of them you can get them so they've got electrical connections up here. So you could connect up the lights or racks or whatever. And then the split door. That is super cool. Pretty good room. Nice interior. Another nice one here. So let's see, here's the sticker. Let's have a look see. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. Oh, it's only $5,000. So 2025 Grenadier Station Wagon Trailmaster. 116,065 Canadian. So I've driven one before. Couple things I don't like is this is just a gauge for issue lights. They should really have the speed there. You have to look over to that center console to check your speed. And then of course here we got differential locks, off-road mode, and then all the external lights. So it's nice, it's well set up for that. Good bit of room. It looks a lot bigger on the inside than it does on the outside. What are we running for tires here? Toyos. Oh, that's interesting. Mud and snow. It's a unique color for sure. And this guy. Again, he's the field master. Oh, quartermaster. Interesting. It's kind of a cool setup. Hard top. See how big the back door is. Okay, so it looks like you do lose quite a bit of room. Now these seats may be all the way back, but because it's the pickup, it does look like you lose quite a bit of room. But love that overhead buttons thing. Oh, there's one of the enclosures I was talking about that has the electrical in it. And of course you got the cool stuff to hang from the sides. I don't know about the pickup trucks very much, but sure do love the other ones. They look great. There's one out there right now cruising around. Look at that view. Awesome. So this is a motocross track actually, right in the city of Calgary. And got a little snow on it. It'd be fun to do this in the mud. Maybe they'll do one in the spring or summer. Very nice. Let's see how this guy's doing. He's going up. Cool. All right. Let's look at the final one that's here. Oh, I like this color. Built on purpose. This is a 24. Oh, this one's not too bad. Built in Hambach. That's very nice. So this has a BMW Turbo 6 in it, inline. It's built in France at an old smart car factory. And it's by a British billionaire. So, got a few countries there. Nice. So I thought I'd do a voiceover on this because I was giddy as a schoolgirl when I was driving it, so the audio didn't come out the way I like. So I thought I'd just do a voiceover here. This is my second time driving the Grenadier. The first time was on a highway and a washboard logging road, which it did really well on. I was really impressed at the time. Sean from Grand Touring Automobiles here in Calgary drove me around the first time and then let me take over. And he did the same thing here with this one. He let me take over. So this is him driving it. I'm just filming it because I didn't film myself while I was driving because I just wanted to enjoy it. So at the end, Sean let me do a couple extra laps around the course as I was having so much fun. So thanks, Sean. And you can see this one is pretty loaded up. I really like the looks and functionality of the Grenadier, and I've been looking at the Bronco and Defender, both of which I've driven. But I didn't think much of the Defender. It seemed more like a mall crawler to me, so it's kind of between the Bronco and the Grenadier. And here we're driving in low um, center lock diff and the rear diff locked. And I was quite surprised at how well it did in low gear. The engine braking going down the steep downhills was quite amazing, so I was really impressed with that. Didn't even need to turn on hill descent control or anything because it did really well just using the engine braking. I will say the entire time off-roading on this course, there was a lot of bends and turns and undulations and up and down actions. Not once did it have a single creak or rattle. I was absolutely amazed. I've never been in a vehicle going over these things, especially a purpose-built 4x4, that wouldn't have squeaks and rattles and things like that. I was absolutely amazed um, at it. And the engine seems adequate. We had enough power and torque to get up the pretty good hills and power through things when we needed to. The one thing I didn't like on this particular hill, as an example, was there's no front camera. Would have been really useful because it was a pretty good descent, 30 maybe more degrees descent. And here Sean takes us off the side, and it was quite vertical. I didn't do this one. So it went down absolutely amazing. Not a creak or a groan or rattle or anything. It was absolutely amazing. So I really enjoyed it. It is truly a amazing four-wheel drive right out of the gate. Um, I don't think any other vehicle could fare as good and not make more noises or have a little bit more stress on it. That's my personal opinion, but I couldn't get over how shocked I was that there was no creaks or rattle. So the positives, I think it's a good looking vehicle, very purpose built. It looks like the old Defender 110, which I really like. Great views all around the vehicle. Excellent components used. Ineos definitely invested in some good components like Brembo brakes, Guerrero axles, Recaro seats. I think it's KW shock or not shocks as springs, but I can't quite remember. It's one of the German spring manufacturers, and they did really well. Um, And of course, Unreal off-road capabilities is a 5-year warranty too, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Um, Third-party accessories are becoming more common. To me, that's an important issue because definitely want to build a overlanding rig to be able to do some remote camping and things like that. I like the electrical connectors in the roof tied to the upfitter switches. That's really nice. I know other manufacturers have that. The Bronco's really good on that as well, but these switches are really cool. It has a 7,700 pound towing capacity, which for the vehicle of its size and weight is really good. The BMW inline turbo 6 is a well-known engine, very well done. The transmission with it worked really well, and it's got great ground clearance. The breakover and approach angles really worked well. I did hit the rock sliders on one particular angled turn. The other things that I think are cool is you can get powder coated frames in Halo Red and Rhino Gray, which go to support the removal of mines around the world and the protection of rhinos, respectively. Um, that's a neat feature. I like the red frame. It's a box on frame vehicle, so to highlight that for I think it's $1,100 or something to get that done makes it look good, and I think that's a cool feature. Some of my dislikes, probably the big one that everyone talks about is the steering not returning to center. Um, it it takes you a little while to get used to it, but it's not that difficult. I found here I kind of had to plan my turns in advance, especially with the tighter turns. You have to figure out where that's going to be. Now I have heard that you can get a Fox or a King damper, steering damper to improve this. So that kind of voids that point. The steering radius, oh, it's not very good at all, I have to say. Going around like a 90-degree turn, I had to back up twice just to get around the turn. I suppose that can be really difficult if you're off-roading, you need to back up and you don't really have the space, or you're on a hill or a cliff or something. Now, I have read that you can screw in the uh, I don't know what you call it, the end thrust bolts for the steering to give you more um, turning radius, but I haven't heard anything from the dealer if this is an option as well that they would support. Of course, because warranty is a big thing in my mind. You want to, whatever I do, I want to keep the warranty fully intact. Canada's a little different than the US as far as right to repair and stuff like that. If the dealer decides that a mod that you've done voids the warranty, they will act on it and say, you did a change that's not approved. So that's kind of a negative thing. The other thing is no heated steering wheel or heated rear seats. In Canada, that's a big thing. I would like to have heated steering wheel and seats. There's no remote start as well. You can get a block heater, so that's good. That's one big important point. But remote start would sure be a nice thing, especially when it's minus 30 Celsius outside. I also going through the configurator. Looks like you can't have the leather seats with heating. Now I'm not sure if this is a 2025 thing or not, because other people do have older models do have heated seats that are leather, but I'm not sure if this is just something that is 2025 or actually country dependent, so I'm not sure there. I did find that the mirrors were tiny. I wish they would have had bigger mirrors because your rear visibility is kind of poor. And the other thing is, I found out the dealer will charge to install accessories, even if you order them at configuration time. I think this is a ridiculous thing. I'm not sure why they do that. So if you're going to order a bunch of accessories while you build the Grenadier, I would recommend ordering them after the fact and installing them yourself if you're so inclined, or a DIY. The other notes that I had, I have some concerns that Ineos just laid off some headquarters staff. Although this could be that they're now in full production and they may not need the same staff levels as they were as a startup. But we'll see. They've lost money every year, so time will tell about their long-term success. But they have just opened a new headquarters in the USA, so obviously they're committed to it. I think that's really important as far as long-term viability of the company, and I really hope they do succeed because it's a fantastic device or vehicle. Sorry. Um, but we'll see. I'm hoping that that's normal and hopefully they get more out there in the world and become successful. Overall, I really like the vehicle. I think that if you're looking for an overland SUV or an off-roader, this should definitely be on your list. Now, I'm not sure if I'm just a fanboy overlooking the negatives, but there are a lot of things it should have at this price point, and especially not having things like remote start, um, heated rear seats, and steering wheel. Oh, sorry, it doesn't have a block heater. I was thinking of the Bronco. Sorry, just needed to correct that. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you think that it does have a block heater. And heated steering wheel, especially to survive in the Canadian winter. Those are really important things that I think it should have. I'm still a fan of the vehicle. It is pricey. There is no question about that. If you think about it, like I said, I'm looking at the Bronco. Bronco is about 80,000 Canadian. This is about 130,000 Canadian. So that's 50,000 in, overlanding accessories, roof racks, tents, storage, fridge, all that good stuff. That buys a lot of accessories. So the big question is it worth that extra amount of money? Now, I realize using top quality components and it's very well built and sturdy. And, if you compare it to the G-Wagon, it's much less expensive than a G-Wagon, but it's a pricey unit. I do like it. It's still on my list of an option to buy. But I'll keep my eye on it in 2026 and we'll see how the company does. Not sure, when I'm going to pull the trigger, if I'm going to look towards this or not, but it should be on everyone's list. It's a fantastic vehicle. It looks great. It functions as expected, quality components, and it's nice to have a new player in the market space. We'll see how they do this year, and I hope this helps. Bye.